Hello, hello. Welcome. It is Sunday afternoon, and you wouldn't know it. My goodness, it is storming. It is booming. Last time I streamed, it was storming terrible. We are having a streak of storms. So it is very dark outside, and I'm having a hard time getting the lighting right on my spinning wheel because I depend on the natural light coming from the window. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. That was a little bit of trance music for you. Oh, and now they put an ad in here. Why did they do that? Right in the beginning. I mean, not even the beginning. Well, I did not think I would be streaming at my normal time on Sunday, but I went and saw my spinning wheel that I was interested in, that was in an auction. Took my friend, my spinning friend. We had a good time looking at it, assessing it, and generally walking around the house and looking at it. Also because not only is all the contents of the house listed in the auction, the house itself is going to be auctioned off. We're going to have company here in just 1 minute. Newman is, the door is open, and hubby insisted that it'd be all right. And when I first started talking, he was yelling in the background, "Are you talking to me?" Usually I close the door. "You want to come up here, Newman? You want to come up here? Huh? You don't know what you want." And the storm's got him a little upset, I think. Anyway, so I have found out something about myself. The first thing is going to look at a spinning wheel that is possibly could be yours for buying is sort of like going and looking at a litter of kittens. It's almost impossible to come home without one. I will say, though, I am not going to be buying this spinning wheel. It was fantastic. It was definitely old. It was marked with initials JOS, which my friend and I have been researching and found out it probably was either in Minnesota area or maybe Pennsylvania. It might have made the trek from Minnesota to Pennsylvania. There's no date on it, unfortunately. I wish they would put dates on spinning wheels that they make, but that doesn't seem to be a thing. And we have no idea who JOS was because for whatever reason, my friend has these sheets that show, I don't know if she got it off the internet or whatever, that show wheel makers, right, and the type of wheels they made and that sort of thing. But they give names. They don't give initials or say anything about what they put on the wheels. So she was going through and looking at all the ones that had a J and an S, but there was nobody that had a JOS, right? We couldn't really come up with any information. Hi, Kay. Welcome. It's still at a reasonable price for an antique wheel. It's at $95 right now. It's not really the reason I'm not buying it. It's in good shape. The wheel was true. Didn't have any wobble. The woodwork was beautiful. The had a lot of turned work on it. Good dark finish. The it only has one bobbin, and that bobbin really didn't want to come off. Right, like you could put more bobbins on it. And my friend, who has done a lot of research on great wheels, has told me that that's not uncommon. That what she did was wind the one bobbin off onto a storage bobbin. Okay, that's not how I spin, and I'm not used to doing it that way. I most certainly could accommodate it, but it was a little like a small bobbin too, right? So it would be a frequent thing to use it. It was about the size of, it was a traditional style, like my Ashford traditional, and unlike my Ashford, it was a dark wood instead of light. And all in all, it was a really pretty wheel. This is the reason I'm not going to bid on it. I am able, to see the other bids. I don't know who the other bids belong to. And the one thing I truly wanted to make sure this wheel went to a spinner instead of just sitting beside the fireplace as a decoration, which is what it currently is, because it is in sound enough shape, good enough shape, with just a few minor repairs that even a moderately advanced spinner could make, right? The footman's leather was gone. It needs a drive band. Of course, a leader on the thing. It had never been spun. It had, whoever or however they had it was not a spinner, and it had never been spun, but it was definitely usable and spinnable, and I would like to have seen it go to a spinner. But that wasn't gonna happen. I don't think. There's one person, ever since the bid started at $1, that person has bid on that wheel. And after a lot of bids, there's, you just admire that determination to get that wheel for whatever reason. And if that reason is just because they really want it sitting beside their fireplace, then so be it. I wanted to see a spinner, not necessarily myself, but if I got it working, then I would resell it to somebody that was new in spinning and looking for a spinning wheel. But I'm going to let it go. I'm just not going to bid on it. I am going to go off of this stream because I have Newman in my lap, and I just realized nobody can tell that. So let's all say, hello, Newman. Hi, there you are. I got my camera all set up for the spinning wheel, and you come in here and hog the camera. Yeah. It's not very often he gets to be in here, and his spot to sleep is in here. He has he has 2 cat beds on that bed back there, and a lot of times he chooses neither one and sleeps on the bed itself. So, that's just being a cat, right? That's just being a cat. How's the start of the Tour de Fleece going? Okay, I know you're working on a Turkish. I saw that on Discord. I got the one bobbin spun that I did during the last stream yesterday, but I needed to clear off my Ara bobbins. I have 2 wood Ara bobbins that came with the wheel, and I have 2 of the 3D. How about pets instead? You wanted spinning. So I have 4 Ara bobbins, 2 that are wood that go with it, and 2 that are the 3D printed. I would like to purchase some more of the 3D printed. I will not purchase more of the wood ones. They're quite high and very heavy. I have a 3rd wood one that I cannot get to work, and I have never talked to Magicraft about this. I probably ought to. I can see absolutely no difference in that bobbin, and it used to work, and then it stopped working, and I don't know what happened different, but it just won't take the fiber up no matter what I do it, and I know that I have it set up exactly like I have the other wood ones set up. I have no answer to that, but therefore I'm short a bobbin, and I had 4 full. I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do? I can't ply on the Ara, so I plied on the Roberta, and I got 2 very chunky bobbins of 2-ply from what was on the Ara that I am not counting in the Tour de Fleece because I didn't spin it during that time. I am still clearing bobbins, but that's all right. I am not in any competition, so it's just mainly for my own record keeping as to how much I get spun during the tour. Well, are you done? Are you leaving? Oh, you gotta rub all over my spinning wheel. Are you gonna leave? No? You're doing good. You started a Targhee Silk Bamboo. Oh, that sounds marvelous. That is a wonderful combination. Today I am going to spin, remember this is merino, and I am going to spin, not this, I already pulled off 2 ounces from this. This was an 8-ounce ball, and because I am spinning on the Roberta, I'm doing it in 2-ounce sections, right? I had to do my math there. Actually, what I'm going to do is spin okay, I have to change channels. They're going to an ad after every single song. Sorry, give me a minute here while I find something else. I cannot believe that. I could have sworn I'd used that before. Hey, buddy. I am a little tired of the same music. We are pretty much playing the same music over and over. Alright, but they don't have the ads. Hello, Knots. Your turtle fleece day 2 has been Blue-Faced Lester. Ply on the fly in public so far. Well, just hit all the buttons. You just hit all the buttons. Let me get my... There we go. We're having a little bit of cat cuddle time here. Hi, Dan. Welcome. I'm doing good. We just had a big storm go through. Lots of wind and kabooms. I think things have settled down. I was looking out the window there. And in a minute here, hi. Yeah, welcome, Guitar Nut. Good to see you. Did you hear about my spinning wheel I went to look at? I did not buy it. That's the bottom line. But it was nice. It was really nice. It was really nice. And I had a good time with my friend assessing it and going through. We did not try to make it spin. It's never been spun. And its footman attached to the treadle, the leather was gone. So there was really no way to treadle it. But based on how it looked and the fact that the wheel looked true and everything, Newman just left, so I'm going to go ahead and change there. Spell check? No, Newman is how I spell it, yeah. That's how I spell it. New man. That's what they called him when I got him at the Humane Society, because he actually was destined to be put down. And one of the workers at the Humane Society made friends with him. And so she named him Newman for New Man. And I, fortunately, gave him the home. So he has been a wonderful cat for us. Void Kitty is right. He's black as can be. He's got white paws. Sometimes that's the only way I can find him, right? Because if he has some part of his white paw sticking out, right? That's the only way I can see him. Because he will sleep on one of our black chairs curled up, and you don't know he's there. Oh, okay. Let me finish my explanation on this. Let me go to the other camera. Oh, goodness gracious. Here we go. This here is, see how I'm having trouble getting my wheel? The lighting is just really crappy today, and I think it's because there's no light coming in the window behind me. It is just dark as night out there. It's getting lighter, and the wind and everything has stopped, but anyway, this was 8 ounces. This is now 4 ounces because I spun 2 ounces last stream, and I'm going to spin 2 ounces this stream. Those 2 ounces are each on a bobbin, and originally I was thinking, oh, I'll just ply those two together. And then it dawned on me, it's been a long time since I've used my Ashford Traditional, and I really want to do the rest of this 2 ounce ball on that Ashford. because it's just perfect. The pin drafting is perfect for spinning with the woolly winder. I don't have to stop and do anything, right? So anyway, that's why I want to go ahead and save that. So next time I will have my Ashford and I will be spinning that. Today we're going to do 2 ounces. All right, drive safe, knots, please. And then if I have a little extra time, I've got some bats set over here that I can start spinning. That is because that can be Tour de Fleece, and I am trying to keep these streams focused on what I'm working on for the Tour de Fleece and not some of this other stuff like clearing bobbins and plying and everything that doesn't count. So I kind of bounce around. I'm kind of bouncing around. All right. Fluffy bats. I will show you this. I have to skein these off. These are silk bamboo. There's no wool in these. And boy, do they shine. Don't they shine? So this is a 2-ply yarn. Yarn is finished. It just has to be put into skeins. And that is not a Tour de Fleece. That is not a Tour de Fleece applicant. It doesn't count. All right, I got my computer kind of back behind me, so I'm kind of looking over my shoulder when I look at you, and you probably are only seeing my back of my neck. I wonder if I can move that camera. Let's see. It's a little bit better, maybe. It's more of my room than I like. There we go. I do pre-draft this just a smidge, but it's super easy to pre-draft. All right, I'm going to do a be right back, and I'm going to go close the door now that Newman's settled away from here. I'm back. Okay, don't adjust your dial. I changed shirts. I looked down and I had a spot on the shirt that I believe I may have gotten from one of the bobbins. You know, it kind of looked like bobbin oil. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put a little stain remover on it. Hi, Mass Bandit. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing good. Just getting started here. We're going to be spinning some blue merino, dyed merino. It's dyed blue. Oh, and I have my speed set real fast because I was plying. I have to do that when I'm plying. Also, the pull in is a little high. So, the one thing I decided after looking at that spinning wheel was I really do need to spin on my Ashford more. I have been saying that I don't like to bring it in on a stream because it's too big, and in many ways it is. You can't really see the entire wheel with the camera, but I can try and focus mostly on the bobbin, which is on the end that's right under the camera, so it should work okay. And I intend to try that Tuesday morning. I am not going to do any of the craft streams for the entire month of July because of Tour de Fleece and then the women's tour. July is all spinning. Nothing but spinning. Just home from work long enough to have had lunch. It's something that I have been trying to kind of stay ahead of. Plan meals, not necessarily make them. Hubby's alright with cooking as long as I have something for him to cook. But trying to keep things out of the freezer and thawed and ready so that supper can happen without too much thought. I got some fresh corn to cook tonight, and I'm not real sure what else I'm going to have with it. I have hamburger thawed, but we just had hamburgers last night. Need something else, like chicken nuggets or something like that. So I keep losing my train of thought. Back to I should use the Ashford traditional more. This is 4 ounces, enough to ply with this bobbin and the other bobbin. So instead of plying those 2 bobbins together and making 2 more, I decided to spin all of this on the Ashford and ply it against the 2 bobbins. I think that is actually a good plan. Chicken from the deli and mashed potatoes. You got somebody else cooking for you. That's a good thing. A lot of times we buy fried chicken from our grocery deli. I cannot fry a good piece of chicken for my life. I am not enough Southern, I guess. I can fry it, so it's cooking. It's cooked and edible, but I can't get a good, tasty piece of fried chicken. And hubby won't eat chicken any other way. Well, I mean, you know, he won't have broiled chicken. I eat chicken a lot of ways. Um, in soups, chicken. I cook tenders for the breadless chicken cutlets for cut up for chicken salad. Um, so anyway, yeah, I like chicken. Hubby likes fried chicken, and that's it. He likes Kentucky Fried Chicken, but he refuses to pay for it. It's gotten so expensive. all all fast foods restaurants, it's all gone up a lot, but he just doesn't realize how much it's gone up. Tarnett says, I have a little deep fryer used for that set up outside. Oh, that's the secret. Huh. For frying things, not friend things. Don't fry your friends. I knew what you meant. Oh. Don't you just hate typing? And I used to try and use the thing that scrolls what I say. And the words that it would put out there, I was just like, never mind. People are just going to have to listen to me instead of reading it. I understand that there are deaf people. I understand what it's for. I suppose they're used to trying to figure out what the person really said when they're reading it. And I'm sure some software is better than others, but what they have for Streamlabs set up, it just didn't work real well. Maybe I just haven't found a good enough software. I know some people use it. Mass Bandit, you use it, I think. Or used to. So hubby's quite relieved I'm not buying another spinning wheel. Oh man, there was a gorgeous writing desk too. Oh, beautiful piece of furniture. Yep, you use it, and it insisted on putting sex when I said 6. Yes. Yeah. Yep, that's what I mean. I understand because it's picking it up. I don't talk real clearly when I'm doing streaming because I may be focused on something that's in my hand. My thoughts come in fits and starts, and it is hard for the software to pick up clean speech all the time. So I haven't gotten any of the Tour de France watched. I've only gotten a start on watching the first day. The second day was way delayed. It's going to come on like 2 a.m. here. Although I will say second day is really boring. It's time trial. They have a time trial late in the race also. And I usually watch the first one to hear the names and kind of get used to the teams that are on there and some of the what they believe are going to be the leaders in the race, so I recognize their names. But, you know, I don't really care a whit who wins the time trial. They're just, everybody goes over a specific same course, and the one that does it the fastest wins the winner. So it's on at 2 a.m. coming up, and then the day 3 is going to be on soon after that in the morning of Tuesday. Kind of weird. I thought I'd be watching more live, but the reason I recorded is my life is just not that empty. I end up doing stuff all the time, it seems like. Instead, I've been watching Peacock. Peacock, by the way, is carrying it, but instead of that, I've been watching Outlander. I think I'm up to season 6. Which is, I've been watching that because I used to read the books. I think I've read all but the last one. They're massive books. You missed posting to a fleece last night by midnight and looked at the rules for your competition. Turns out there's no prize for meet your goal, so I'm not competing anymore anyway. Huh. There's no prize for meet your goal? Are you sure? Huh. That's in the Cyber. Team Twitch. What was Team Twitch's Cyber Fiber? Oh, I'm sorry you missed it. This is why I stopped doing it. I'm just like, I can't keep with both that stuff anymore. I have to work at my own pace. So the way I'm going to break it down is by project, like this Blue Merino is a project. and I'll take a picture of the bobbins before I apply, and then take a picture of the yarn and put that in Ravelry. And I'm going to start a section in my Spinner's Journal for Tour de Fleece 23 and write down how I actually made the yarns and then the resulting yardage and all that in that section. So that's going to be my documentation. I'm not going to try and do anything in any of the Discord or Ravelry groups. I don't think, unless something strikes my fancy to post, but probably not. It's not. Everybody's busy spinning. Yeah, I noticed that too. I've been checking Discord a couple times a day to read and it's like, well, there's nobody chatting. Ooh, that was short. I think I'm going to leave it there for a little bit. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I get excited when I get to go see my friend that I went to see this morning, too, for the same reason. She's big right now into sock knitting. Her funniest statement while I was there was, and during the pandemic, when I accidentally bought another sock knitting machine, and I looked at her and I said, how do you accidentally buy a sock knitting machine? She said, I bid on it and nobody else bid. Then she had to find it. It was in Minnesota. I mean, she couldn't go just pick it up, and the lady didn't want to ship it. So she has sewing machine contacts groups, and they have what they call a sewing machine. Oh gosh, what's the word? But basically, it's people who are willing to drive a sewing machine from one place to another, and then another one picks it up. So they have it all set up with a train of people that can take it, from one place of the country to another. And she ended up using that to get her sewing machine. But I had to laugh. How do you accidentally buy a sock knitting machine? But she is somebody I can talk any kind of craft with. She's done it, so much of it, and is like me. She just loves everything. And I actually got to know her through, originally meet her and everything through a chat group on Yahoo for spinning. It was called Sheep Thrills, and it does still exist, but it's not very active. It was big though. It was like you are talking about. You could go on there on those Yahoo boards. There's a whole daily digest, right? There was always a lot of chat, and that is what you're talking about. But she also knows an awful lot about antique spinning wheels because of chat groups also on the same thing, and that's why she was a lot of help to go with me and really liked the spinning wheel. I said, well, do you want to buy it? And she said, no, I'm not buying it. I said, I don't suppose joint adoption would work. And she just laughed at me. That's not going to work. All right, you get custody of the wheel this weekend. Talk about a complicated estate closure. Yeah. Just blue sky in there. Hi, Knots. You're home and setting up for alpaca spinning. Way, that sounds wonderful. That's one thing I am not spinning this year. And I haven't picked up any alpaca this year. I mean, for the tour. Almost all of my alpaca is unprocessed. It's raw in the blanket. And, I think I told you I got my drum carder cloth. So I am going to finish up one bag of fiber that I have picked apart. It's black Shetland. I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, and then we're going to change the cloth on my drum carder. I wonder how much, this is merino, and merino goes poof when you wash it. I wonder how much this is going to puff up. End up being a big old squishy skein. It's hard to find pin drafted fiber. That's what this is, pin drafted fiber. They have to have the mill set up for it. Not many places do it. It is really fun to spin if you ever find it and have a chance to spin it. The only thing is, I don't know how it'd work on drop spindles because it should feed off. It's pretty narrow. And when you drop spindle, you usually have a puff of fiber that's pretty wide. Or at least I do. As far as I know, this was the only pin drafted fiber I had in my stash. I don't remember having any more. Let's see what Google has. Oh, Navajo churro and baby doll. Egyptian cotton and flax does not really look pin drafted. And that natural brown doesn't either. What is the $89 for? Hey, there's some nice Rambouillet on Etsy. Let's see here. There's Teeswater. Yeah, in a gray color. Oh, isn't that pretty? Well, let me see here. Doesn't look as narrow of a pin draft. It isn't. It's not narrow at all. It looks like regular roving to me. Huh. And here's alpaca roving. See, that's not pin drafted either. This just picked up regular roving. It's not what I call pin drafted. This is a little closer to what I'm spinning. $14 for 4 ounces. It's white though. I don't know if that will work or not. Let's see. Hang on, I'm gonna close some of these. Yeah, it works. It's just that this pin drafting is, oh, maybe it's the same. Maybe it is. Maybe it is probably. It just kind of looks thinner because of the blue and white, but really it's probably about the same. One of the few ways to process a fiber I cannot do at home. I can pull roving, but off of a bat, but I can't get this fine, even through a tiny diz. I just don't get it like this. It turns out more thick and thin, and it doesn't have this amount of fiber in this narrow band, if that makes sense. I get a narrow band, but I get less fiber. Boy, there's a lot of Twitch monitor stations on. So I am glad for all of you who are real people. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you watching. I spin for robots. Oh, goodness. I was talking to my friend about that. I was just like, I can't believe this is my 14th Tour de Fleece. You know, it's a lot of years. I'm only been retired for 4 years, so yeah, I'm up for a question. I may even have an answer, but you know, don't guarantee it. Answers $1. Answers that are correct, $2. When you use a diz, is that essentially making this pencil or pin roving? When you run a diz on a drum carder or something? Okay. Tell you what, I'll take a break here and do some dizzing because I may run out of time and not get to that roving that I said I would spin after I do this. Spent a little bit of Newman time and all that, so I'll just do it so that you can see it, because I plan to do that with this. It's taking the drum carder bat and making roving is what it is. Dizzes can be purchased, they can be made. It's basically anything slightly curved that has a hole in it. The hole can be as tiny as a pinprick, which I find very hard to pull fiber through, and or as big as a button. I use buttons. So it doesn't have to be curved. You can use a button. I have a diz that I bought that's just hard plastic. People will make dizzes out of curved part of a milk jug plastic. I have one of those. So the tool is extremely inexpensive normally. I paid a lot for the big button. I didn't pull it out of my button box because it is a huge button with huge holes. In other words, I got it from the Woolery one time when they had a booth at a thing, and they were selling them specifically for dizzes, not a button. They call it a button diz. The cool thing about a button diz is if you want to do a blend, and I have never actually done this, but you can pull two through at the same time, and you'll end up with something like this. Does that make sense? Oh, you don't have to teach. No, I'm alright. I'm alright doing it. Does that make sense though, as far as your maybe it will after you see it, that because I have the button diz here, I think anyway. All right, let's do that. Maybe I don't have the button diz here. I don't think I do. All right, this is my when you buy a diz, it can be made out of all sorts of materials, but this is what it looks like. And you feed your fiber into this curved part, and that's what gathers the fiber and pull, as you pull, it gathers the fiber. You'll see the action here in a minute. This is, what is this? Oh, what's my Romney. This is Romney, a bat that I did on my drum carder. Oh, we got another storm coming. And I don't even have to take it off of here if I don't want to. It's a little neater though if I make a strip and pull it out of here. Now, one of the things about this bat, this is not top, and it's got a lot of well, not these bumpy things, neps like that right there. Can you see the, yeah, you see the nep? It's got a lot of that in there, so that hopefully doesn't come through your diz. Usually I use my finer spinning wheel hook, which I don't have with me, but I also have handy dandy little screwdriver that, see, I just pushing it through the hole, and it's on the other side of the hole. Okay, and you do want to, just like you're drafting a little bit, and pull it this way. Draft a little bit, pull it this way. Now, as you can see, almost everything's going through there, right? Everything is going to go through. This is not a process that removes anything that you may not want in. All it is aligning and evening up your roving. That's all it is. So most people, instead of doing what I'm doing right here, I'm just doing this so that you can see it easier, will take the drum carder, start it while it's still on the drum carder and go around the drum carder. I don't do it that way. I take the bat off. And yeah, I end up with maybe a little bit of stuff. But see, it isn't really taking anything out. It's just evening up the roving. And that is so much nicer when you want to spin that instead of pulling a strip off of here and spinning from the strip. So if this was on the drum carder, you would go round and round. But if you take it off the drum carder, what do I do with my, here it is. If you take it off the drum carder, this is what I'm going to do with everything. You basically get a longer stretch of roving. Wind it into a big ball and spin from that. Can you see this okay? No, probably not. It's working down the side of the bat, but it's kind of pulling from a lot of places in the bat. And as you can tell, I still have a solid roving. Now, once in a while, you kind of gotta open it up again, and or it'll fight you pulling through. So this is what I usually do with my bats, unless I'm just not wanting to do the extra step. Okay. Hit a real thin area there, but I kept it. See, about half the bat is done now. I am going to go ahead and break this and wind this. Thought a lot more came off. It didn't. I mean, that's all I had done. So it really depends on if you have a bat, how you like to spin your bats. You know. And if you don't want to work with the entire bat like this, you can just pull strips off and pull them through like I did. Yeah, it's just one little extra step that you pick up. Basically, you pick it up and spin right away. And then all you really are ending up picking out is the neps that may have gone through. And you don't have to have this size, right? The bigger the hole, of course, the thicker your roving will be. If you really want to pull through a pinhole, you can have really fine roving. And there are people who do the Shetland lace spinning for those lace shawls, right? And that's what they do. They put their fiber through a pinhole before they spin. Yet again, one of those really zen activities around spinning. It's amazing how many of them are designed. I mean, they're just basically very relaxing and focused and calming. Now there's a bunch of, I'm going to go ahead and pull those nuts out, those two. Okay, that broke. Oops. That's really nice fiber. It's from a Romney fleece I bought. I picked a good one. Or as we say when we're trying to buy a watermelon, oh, we thumped a good one this time. Alright, this is messy. See how it kind of worked and didn't get this kind of stuff right here? Technically, I should put that back through the drum carder instead of pulling it into the... I don't have any more of this fiber left. I am just going to maybe save that as the example, my fiber, for my fiber notebook thing. It's also amazing how many household tools work for something for spinning. I have submitted bats for. There is a category in our state fair for fiber dyed by the entry person, and I have submitted bats before, and I have decided I'm going to go ahead and do this and submit balls of fiber instead this year. The bats were kind of hard to keep looking nice, you know, in all of its handling. And I wasn't real sure how the fair people would handle it, so it was out of my control after I turned it in. So I have realized that this would be what I need to do, and then probably put it in a basket or something. I am submitting, I did what I call the 3 Blues study. I already posted it in Discord, and I am going to do 4 ounces of that for my fair. All right, there we go. Where's my envelope? Here it is. Break time. I brought coffee, but I kind of wish I had brought something cold to drink. My water is room temp. I'm not going to spend any more than this 2 hours today. I've decided. However, I would like to finish this bobbin to kind of stay on schedule here. I'm going to try, we got some ads going here first, but I am going to try a live stream. We'll see how many ads they throw at me. That has been one of the things that, this is Chill Hop, and one of the things that they do is basically a live stream of music with specific themes. Like this is Summer Coastline, which is cool. And some of the streams are live instead of recorded and you play them after the fact. Well, we have another storm going on. Lots of wind, I hear. Distant. The thunder is still distant. A lot of rain. This is the reason I got home. I went in and went to see the wheel and got myself home. I didn't stay and visit because I wasn't also real sure that I would be able to stream. But I knew the storm was coming in, so I didn't want to be. I wanted to be home for that. Mass Bandit, you just fill in your Pokemon. I can't play that. I don't have access to. I don't earn balls or want to pay for it, so I don't end up paying. I don't end up having the balls to use. Oh, boy, that was a good one. I don't end up having Pokeballs to do it. It doesn't cost real money. You earn by streaming or chatting in a stream where the game is running. But why don't I get any then? I don't chat, but if I'm streaming, I should get it. How do you get the difference, though? You know, how do you get... I see you say Great Ball and all that. How do you get those? You just say it and hope you have one? Because I know there are 3 kinds of... I have the Pokemon game, Pokemon Go, on my phone. But I also am on the desktop, and it may not work on the desktop. You may have to stream from your phone and all that. That might be my answer. You buy the Great Ball. Oh. And you only run from a desktop. Okay. I don't mind because, I mean, I like... Some people really like it, and, you know, others can just ignore it, but at least it keeps the chat moving a little bit. It's something to do if you're not crafting. Yeah. That's true. I don't chat much either, obviously. I got my hands busy. You're too sore to think about crafting. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. We're getting into a holiday. We went to get groceries a couple days ago and it was packed already, you know. So I know it's a really busy time. It's also really good to find a stream where not many people are doing it. Then you don't lose your pokeballs. I assume if you try to catch one and don't get it, you lose a pokeball, because you do in Pokemon Go. Yeah. You have 23K in the poke shop? You know, I no idea how you got that. Do you play games? Maybe it's through gaming. You're chatting. Maybe. I mean, you chat a lot in the streams. Nope. Would you type to check? Uh, when you're offline, you go to your about page. Yeah, and click on the backpack, and it'll tell you how much you have and what Pokeballs you have. Okay. Oh, did you just click on the Okay. I'll have to check it out when I'm offline. You scroll down on the on the stream page, and there's a little window widget. Yeah, that's what I've seen too. At the top, there's a little bar of icons. Okay, hang on here. Go. Let me. I don't have Twitch open, do I? Let me see here. That's Discord and that's Streamlabs. Okay, I don't have Twitch open. Wait a minute. It's not Twitch, is it? Oh yeah, it's on my stream page, so it would be Twitch. You know, it doesn't show. Oh, veggie streaming. You know, when I bring up the front page of Twitch, I have all the people who are streaming off to the left. It doesn't show me there. I'll go to channel. That's my channel. Yep, there I am. All right. Under about. Yeah. Your Pokemon. Okay, there we go. It shows what I have. Oh, you can inventory? Yeah, I have one Great Ball and one Ultra Ball. Now, if I say shop, oh, there it is. I can buy, so that's not real money. Okay. Can I pick how many I want? All right. I have 33,000. Now I have 20 Pokeballs. Thank you, Guitar Nut. Good teaching. Thank you. And I missed Passimian while I was doing all that. That's all right. That makes me happy. Especially because I didn't know I earned poke money, while I was streaming and had to get in the stream. That makes sense, but I'm glad to find that out. I thought it only involved if you chat or not. I'm sorry, Maz Bandit. You are not, and I apologize. Thank you too. The only thing we found out for you is you can do it. You don't have to be offline. You can do it while you're online streaming. I wouldn't want to do it while I was streaming. Of course. Not anything to stop doing what I'm doing. Right? Oh. There you go, Mass Bandit. A special thank you. Okay, I need to get this spinning done. I'm no hurry though. I don't even have 2 hours yet, so it'll get done. You're welcome. I like that's an alpaca supposedly, but I have llamas too. I like my stickers. On the rest of the Tour de Fleece days that I'm not under a normal stream schedule, I'll probably stick with my normal Tuesday mornings, which will work anyway, Thursday night and Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be trying to do it from 10 a.m. till noon. That is pretty open time for us. We just don't get up and go do anything, and I have no reason not to spend a couple hours every day spinning for the tour, since I tend to spin sometimes during that time anyway. So I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hopefully with my Ashford. I had said Tuesday morning, but I am going to try and, unless we just absolutely have to do something in the mornings, I'm going to try and stream and spin every morning for the Tour de Fleece. You will be leaving for Duluth for a doctor appointment. 2.5 hours one way. That's tomorrow. Be safe. Have a good journey. I hope it's a good trip for you. Have you been to, do you know Duluth as far as driving and all that? How big, I don't know how big Duluth is. Obviously I know it exists. Not really. You use your GPS and the route is torn up for major construction for another 2 years. You know, that is the truth. There's not a road, major road around us that does not have some kind of construction on it. It's just they let the construction go for so many years. Now everything is being worked on. It does take a long time, especially if they're building a bridge and an exit ramp and, you know, new things like that. Road construction takes a long time. They're redoing an overpass and, an exit. So they're building a new bridge. You know, there are many jobs that I say, that might be interesting to do. Nope. Count me out on that one. Trying to make the exit safer than it was. The old exit, well, can of worms. Seriously, we have Spaghetti Junction. It's literally the news people use it. I mean, it is called the Spaghetti Junction. Can of worms. I was telling my friend this morning because she kept saying, she was She was a passenger and she was navigating for me. I said, I'm a good driver, but I am a horrible navigator. I have a horrible sense of direction. If I would pick Oh, I think I need to go right. I'm talking about if I haven't really been in the area, like I don't have a general sense if I'm going north, south, east, or west, and I'll inevitably pick the wrong way. However, if I've driven the route, I usually have a really good sense of where it is and where I'm at and stuff like that. Any number of times. I'm getting to the point where I almost have the route down to Florida, to my mom's memorized. I have a little bit of trouble in Atlanta, mostly because we tend to hit Atlanta in the dark, and so a lot of the landmarks and that sort of thing is not visible in the dark. I don't have a sense of where I'm at. So I'm always going around Atlanta on the bypass, but I don't have a general idea that what I'm looking for is eminently coming up, right? Because I can't really tell where I'm at and how long I've been driving around it. Seriously, they call it that on the news. They would say it would be best to avoid the can of worms today. How can they say that with a straight face? Oh, you can do poke shop. There you go. Learning all kinds of things today. Oh, you guys didn't get it. Feisty Pokemon. I bet you the command poke battle takes you to a battle. I have no luck with those battle on Pokemon Go because I don't know. It depends on what type it is, and certain are, more effective against others, and so I don't have that generally memorized to pick the right one to fight with. Okay, there we go. Get off there. I don't even know if I sent it right. Yeah. I think you... Well, I would think you did. Let's see. Mass Bandit. Except for, Poke Catch, Great Ball. Looks just like what Mass Bandit put. Yeah, you did the right command. It tells you if you don't. Oh, okay. Well, this summer beach music has a lot of Hawaiian music to it. Hawaiian sounding. Wish the air conditioner would run. Yay! Hey, Crafty Mom. You lurking? Thank you for the stretch and hydrate. I will do that. way. Oh, and I just hit the camera. Oh, man. I have so little left to spin, and I want to do it. I don't want to stop. So I am going to finish. Keep on my agenda here what I want to get done each day. All right. You've been watching and playing. All right. Cheers. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm glad you got to see that. Crafty Mom says, yes, I'm spinning trying for a 3-ply DK weight for a cable texture cardigan. Beautiful. You're going to do a standard 3-ply where you just run your 3 strands together? Are you going to do a cabled where you spin the 3 different, S and Z, right and left and all that, and put it together for a true cabled yarn? Okay, this is the last of this. That goes on this bobbin. It's not the last of it, it's what goes on this bobbin. It's 2 ounces. You think standard will give me more consistency than the chain ply? Well, the chain can have that bump. It has way more texture than a standard. Just run the 3 plies together, 3 strands together. And one of the reasons I ask is because if you're going for a large quantity of yarn, you'll get more yardage by not doing the cabled yarn. It gives you less yardage than just running the 3 strands together. And when you're my size, you need as much yardage as you can get. If you have a long stretch where it's thick and thin, it's more likely that the plying from the 3 bobbins will help even it out. That's also very true. Yes, good observation. And it's more manipulative to do chain plying, so it could break for you. And it's more of a headache if it breaks when you're chain plying. If you're running your 3 strands together, you can just tuck in one break. You just tuck it between those other 2 and off you go. You have a lot of trouble figuring out how many reps per inch to make your singles to get DK weight. I do too. Guitar Nut says, I've been trying to make a nice 3-ply DK for a month. Never quite got it. Mine always ends up a little too thick with 3-ply. You know, there should be a formula for that. Oh, okay, I didn't do it right after all that. Let's see. Hope catch. I did it wrong. There we go. Okay, I want to check and see what Google has to say about all right, reps per inch chart. If, let's see here. I need to make this bigger here. Let me see what this says here. If you want a DK of a final reps per inch of 14, singles for 2-ply, right here it is, guys. Singles for 2-ply on a 14 reps per inch. I don't know what Mabel and Abby, it probably, if you read this whole thing, will tell you. But it's around, what? 25 to 39. And singles for 3-ply yarn is 44 and 46. 44 or 46 reps per inch, guys. That's why we haven't been able to do it. Here, I'll give you a link. You can save this for your future reference. Hey, I got one. That is so thin. Abby is Abby Frankenmont. I thought so too. I don't know who Mabel is. Who's Mabel? I know who Abby is. Here, let me. Schoolofsweetgeorgia.com. Okay. There you go. Mabel Ross, yes. Yes, I'm not, okay, I am familiar with her. Thank you. I did not remember Mabel Ross. That is a really good reference. I'm putting that in my documents. Let's see. Hopefully that went in my documents. Boy, am I procrastinating spinning today. Alright. is under an S. Yep, there it is. All right. Yay. Try reading that chart with eyes only half open. It doesn't work well, I know. And I had to make it. I had to make it bigger. Even on my enormous desktop monitor here. Also, it's printed in a real faint font. I mean, it's not like bright, dark black or whatever. But that is really useful information. Because to be honest with you, I would have no idea how to figure that out. Other than just trial and error. So first, you gotta learn to spin 44 wraps per inch. Pick your fiber carefully. Silk ought to work. I have trouble making silk thin. I mean, thick. Oh, okay. Where's my other bobbin? I don't see it. I don't remember it being this full. I hope I didn't put 1 ounce on one bobbin and 2 ounces on this one. We'll see. We'll see. I can always add to a second bobbin. If I did. I'll weigh them. Okay, keyboard, you can go back out of my way there. There we go.
Any painter can paint.
They always put the ads right in the middle of the song.
Have the power of estimates that aren't yet.
Yeah, makes it pretty obvious when the ad comes on. I shouldn't worry about it so much, but I wasn't doing anything else anyway. Well, sadly, I don't think this is going to the state fair. I mean, this is not going to be an entry for the state fair. The 100% merino, I'll see how it washes up, but I have trouble with areas that just come out as a little bit of a clump and makes a thicker area in the single. So it's going to be a very, very nice yarn to use. Love blue. Not sure what I'll make with it, but it's been nice to spin. I should have a decent amount of yardage out of the 8 ounces. Maybe I could make myself a... No, I won't get that much yardage. I was going to say a lacy shell or a a lacy vest just to wear open over a t-shirt. I don't think I'll have enough yardage for that though. I cannot decide if that bobbin of the yak silk, that's what it is. It's yak silk. I don't remember what I called it. I didn't say yak though. I don't know if that's good enough for the fair or not. It also had that same problem because yak is so short. It's a pretty yarn though. What I could start doing is making more things. Knit. I knit with my hand spun pretty much entirely, exclusively, except for socks. I always knit socks out of commercial, but and enter more in the state fair in the knitting category instead of just hand spinning. I might do that. Covered up my chat. Sorry about that. There we go. Veggie, hello. Thank you for the raid. Your spinning always turns out rustic looking. Yeah, right. I love it, and I'll never win any ribbons. I win a few, but they're usually like thirds, right? Well, hello everybody. Welcome, Veggie. Good to see you. And I totally understand if you've been streaming and need to go ahead and raid and run. That's understandable. Okay, hello. Oh, you're gonna cook? Okay, Lexi, thank you for saying hello. Go make something tasty. We're spinning Romney? You think you're smitten with it? Yeah. Knots and Stitches says I pulled 50 grams of alpaca to spin as a minimum amount for today. It will probably spin more than that. But we'll probably spin more than that. Yeah. You hadn't spun Romney before? You know, this is, after I get these two little bits done, because this is the last I'm putting on this bobbin, I will show you. This is a Romney bat, and I have been dizzying it, pulling off roving, so that it looks like that. So I'm going to do one after I get this done, so you all can see that. But yeah, Romney is nice. It's crisp. You know what I'm saying? It's not soft. It's not soft like a merino. It's very crisp. It's nice to spin. You like that brown? It is pretty, isn't it? It's natural color, too. Technically, that's a black sheep, you know. They would call that a black sheep, I guess, but it's very brown. I have no idea. I mean, I bought it as a washed partial fleece from Woolery. I have no idea who raised it or where it came from. I'm assuming they have sources, but it came as, I had to card it. I mean, yeah, I had to drum card it. In fact, I'm not 100% sure. It may not have been washed. Now that I think about it, it might not even have been washed. Woolery doesn't sell, I don't think they sell raw fleece on their website, but I had gone to their store and got it. Crisp is the word you was looking for. You were lacking for it last night trying to talk about it. Maybe they might say that, like they say about food, you know, Romney is an acquired taste. An acquired taste in spinning. Truthfully, I probably should have combed it. It does have neps in it, the Romney, but I didn't, and I intend to spin woolen, and I am not going for a worsted smooth fine yarn. I'm going to go for a woolen spin on it. Oh, after you start spinning, your first ever real spinning project was 1 pound of Romney lamb. Oh, I bet that was nice. For those of you who just came in, this is Romney. This is the very end of the bat. 2 ounces I pulled to put on this bobbin. It came to me looking like this. It is pin drafted. All right, so it is very, very narrow. Excuse the Romney there. Very narrow. It is considered roving, not top. And it really is a delight to spin. I bought it this way. I can't make pin drafted. Pin drafting is not really pulling a roving like they do off big bats. This is more pushing fiber that is already processed and smoothed out through holes, kind of like dizzes, and it comes out, whatever they're pushing out comes out together into a roving. I don't know if it's roving or top. I'm not real sure what they call. They call it roving. I know they do because I Googled pin drafted, and they said roving on it. So I have 4 ounces left of this, and I am going to spin it on a different spinning wheel. I'm going to spin it on my all 4 ounces on my Ashford Traditional, starting tomorrow. Okay. Let's push this out away. Bring the table over. Oh, I better unplug it. It won't go far if I don't unplug it. Bring this over. Don't need my phone there. Alright, I can give you a general idea how this works. So this is I don't have any original locks, unfortunately. Alright, this is a diz that I use. You can use, there are all sorts of styles of dizzes. Some of them look like big round buttons. Some are handmade out of plastic that is flexible, like from a milk bottle. Okay, the biggest thing is it needs a hole, and if you have like a button with multiple holes, then you can pull colors out together. That's very similar to what the pin drafting looks like. All right. Okay, I don't know Oh, Veggie's lurking. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for coming by and bringing your people. I appreciate it. Um, so when you do a bat, you can spin from this, starting at one corner and pulling on it. It tends to get very jumbled up and kind of messy and not as good. Or you can strip off a strip like this and spin it. But one of the problems is a lot of times it has various thickness all down through that strip that you strip off. So to help straighten out that strip of, the thicknesses being more evenly distributed and everything, you use a diz. I'm using this little tiny screwdriver and pushing it so that it comes out through the hole. And you do have to draft it out a little bit, just like when you're spinning, but then you just pull it against like this. And there's one thing that I want to tell you. This is not a processing procedure that removes the annoying things out of your fiber. It doesn't take neps out. Vegetable matter may fall out, it may not. If it's in this roving, if it's in this bat, it's probably going to be in this roving, right? All you're doing is creating a little bit of a thinner source of fiber to present to the drafting zone than what you have if you just take some of the fiber from the bat and spin it. Helps your consistency, so your single is more consistent. Also, for some reason, I like storing. Bats always feel very compacted to me if I store them, but if I want to keep the bat around a little bit and I'm not going to spin it right away, then I like storing these kind of balls. They don't press down as much on each other, and that's how I store it. Now, I don't have to make that strip off of there. I can just work off the bat. It gets a little disorganized, but can flatten it out. So I'm going to do one bat here. And then sadly, I have to also go make supper. But as you can see, I'm sort of working from the side and top of the bat. Can you see all this? Yeah, you can. I think I'll do a highlight of this little section. And in this case, since I didn't pull a strip off, I'm going to have a longer run of roving. See, I'm down to the bottom here. Now I'll start back up again. You can make a diz. Anything, you can find a button that has a big enough hole. The curved does help sometimes. It's not essential. It just is a little more organized as it hits going through the hole. That's all. Anybody have questions, just feel free to ask. I have 7 or 8 bats, but I'm not going to do them today. Use a washer from the a hardware store for it is. Okay. See, that's what I said. You can. Oh, now I broke that one. So I'll just go ahead and pull this, roll this up. Pulled just a little too hard. This is nice Romney. Alright. Now, once in a while, I get areas that I may put back into the pile to be drum carded. It gets too disorganized. I didn't really run into that this time, but and some people will do this straight off the drum carder. I don't, because I can't stand for long periods of time. You know, I get tired standing, and so anything I can do sitting down helps me. I go ahead and take the bats off and do this sitting down. But you can. The drum has to rotate around. It works better on drum carding cloth that has fewer teeth per inch. I have pretty fine and quite a few teeth per inch on my drum carder, so it's a little harder for me to do it on the drum carder for that reason. So that's another consideration. Depending on your teeth per inch on your thing, it may not pull off nice enough to be able to be manipulated through the little hole. All right. Got 2 little pieces I'll throw away. 3. 4. That has a nip in it. Okay. All right. Thank you all for watching, joining me. All right, let me see here. I need to check Twitch. I don't know if we want to raid or not. Got a nice community here to go somewhere. Just give me a minute here. All right. Anybody have any suggestions? I'm going to stop the music and Play in the Mud is on all the time. Rye Socks, day 1. Let's see which that's. Enemy Addict. Alright, somebody's knitting. Sleeping Lou is doing her ball gown crochet. And Cross Stitch Woman is baking. Okay. Down here, there's a leather worker. Diamond dots. Okay. 3D printing. That's why I am not following you all. Let me plug in and see what this lady's saying. Do I have her? Yep, I have her muted. Okay, we're going to Enemy Addict.
Wow! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one today.
We've done her before. We have rated her before. But she is knitting, and you're heading to the... Oh, you're watching her ball gown? Okay. That's good. That's Enemy is what Guitar Nut says too, so let's go there. Thank you everybody for being here all this afternoon. I am glad that I got a lot done, and I'm glad that it didn't knock me off with all of the bad weather here. And Knots and Stitches, keep going. You're gonna get there. Have a good day, Mass Bennett. Be safe tomorrow. Safe travels. I never know if... Yep, that's the right raid. Here's a raid call. And we can go anytime. I'll give you a second to copy that. I always forget to do that. Let me copy mine. No, don't copy above, copy below. Thank you. I think I copied it. I never know. Oh, I see a cat. Goodbye, everybody. Be back tomorrow morning with my grumpy Ashford. We'll see who's the grumpier. Take care. Bye.
Well, let's move this over here. Wow! Yarn Spinner's Tales. Thank you